Hey guys, today we're going to be talking about the fourth down play call in the overtime loss to South Florida in the Birmingham Bowl. We're going to talk about the formation we came out in, how we previously utilized that formation earlier in the game, the personnel we used. We're going to diagram the play, and then we'll also talk about the breakdowns that led to the eventual failure of the play. So we come out in a shotgun trips left formation with the halfback line to the trip side. Personnel wise, we've got Debo Samuel up top, Casey Crosby number two, Hayden Hurst in the slot, Brian Edwards at the bottom of your screen, Bentley quarterbacking, and AJ Turner in the backfield. Now, previously in the game, we ran this four times. I wasn't able to catch half the first quarter, so if we ran it during that time, I'm not accounting for that. I'm going from, I believe, our second possession in the first quarter. So with that, we ran that in the second quarter with a halfback toss. I believe we got a first down out of it. Later on in the second quarter, we hit Debo Samuel for a touchdown on a slant at the goal line, third and goal. Later in the third quarter, Bentley dropped back and threw the interception return for a touchdown. And then later on in the fourth quarter, when we had to get the 2-point conversion and go into overtime, we came out in this formation and converted. So four times by my count, we ran it with mixed results before we led to this big play here in overtime. So now we'll go ahead and we'll diagram the play. And real quick, I just want to mention, if you look at the down and distance, 4th and 6 was an incorrect measurement. If you go ahead and look at the screen there, we're somewhere between 4th and 4.5 to maybe 4th and under 5. And you might think that yard and a half doesn't make a big difference, but it really does when it comes to play calling and how much room you've got to work with inside the 10-yard line. So anyway, we'll go ahead and get to it. Now, from what I can see from the tight coverage here, Brian Edwards here is just going to run into the end zone. He's just stretching it out. Hurst here is going to come up about 2 yards, and he's going to settle into the end zone right here. We're going to see Casey Crosby come all the way to the end zone, settle, and then work towards the sideline. I'm not too sure if that was just him trying to make space for the quarterback or if that was in the play call. And then we're going to see Debo Samuel come out and want to run a 1-yard drag across the formation. And as we all know, it's been discussed, they ran play action on this play. And once they do that, you're going to see AJ Turner come up, and he's going to settle down right here at the first down marker. Once we go through the play, you'll get to see how some of this breaks down. But I want you to keep an eye on also, there's a lot of stuff going on in this play. Some of it was setting us up for success, and some of it led to the eventual breakdown of the play. But take a look up here with Casey Crosby, number 2. And I believe what they're trying to work here is a rub route for Debo Samuel coming down here. You're going to see them run it. He's going to get a little bit of contact on the cornerback, but I just don't believe it was enough to make the play. After looking at the defense, it's hard to tell for me. It might be easier for other people to tell if they're in a man or zone. With the way the quarterbacks are lined on the outside, you can see them looking on the quarterback. But for some reason, I just think they're running a 2-read scheme up here on Debo Samuel and Casey Crosby. So anyway, that's the play diagram. We'll go ahead and clear that out, and we'll run it real quick, and I'll show you what we're talking about with that potential rub route. All right, so now we've had a chance to talk about what was going on at the top of the screen. We're going to come down and look at what Hayden Hurst was doing down in the slot. Now, everyone's asking about why were we running in play action on fourth down? What was the point? What does play action do? I'm not going to get into the argument. People have their own opinions and a lot of experience of watching football. Some people coach. What I will say, though, here is that whether you think play action should have been called on 4th and 6 or not, it worked here in this situation, and I'll show you why. In my experience, usually play action, we're doing it to draw linebackers or secondary guys up. We want to bring them up to open up space for throwing lanes down the field. And when we look at this, I want you to keep an eye on the linebacker and the defensive back right here and right here. Once we run play action, and then also keep in mind that route that Hayden Hurst is running, he's coming in, and then he's going to come over here and settle down into the end zone. Okay, so we're going to take a look at this real quick. We're going to run the play as we're coming down, and look at this. You can see the linebacker and the safety stepping up. They're coming up for that run right there. And that's allowed, that's opened up that space if we need to get that pass in there. You can see where Bentley is looking, his eyes. He's going directly to Hurst right here. Now, unfortunately for us, when we come back and look at this play, pre-snap, if you look at this linebacker, he's just in excellent pre-snap position. I think South Florida here, they were anticipating the slants. You can look at the safeties and where they are. They are here on the goal lines to not let anything, any slants or anything get there. And the inside position, the linebacker here is just taking that away. So once we run that play, you're just going to see it's there. The play is there if that linebacker just does not have that positioning, which he does. Whether you agree with them running play action on this play or not, you think they might have had other options. That's for everyone to make their own decisions. But the play action did work. It did what it was intended to do. It drew the linebacker and the safety up to open up that area to throw the ball to Hurst in there. But like I said, unfortunately, the linebacker is just in excellent pre-snap position to shut that inside pass down. All right, so now that we've covered the wide receiver routes and what they were doing and kind of the coverage that the defense was doing, I just want to compare how we're aligned in this formation on this play in overtime to how we were this exact same formation on the 2-point conversion the previous play. So when we look here in overtime, you can see where we are. We've got our trips to the field, and we've got our halfback to the trip side, about half a yard behind Bentley. All right, so he's pretty close to him behind, and what you'll notice is if you've kept up with a lot of our football, usually this is an inside zone look. When the halfback's going to be that close to the quarterback and he's a step behind him, you can expect an inside zone run here. Now, when we go back over and we look at the 2-point conversion play we ran here, this is the exact same formation. The trips is just to the bottom of the screen because that's the field side. You can see Turner is still to the trip side, but what you'll see is he's about a half a yard in front of Bentley and spread out a little bit wider, which is going to show you, hey, he's either coming up to help in pass protection, or he's going to be releasing out into a route. So we're going to take a look at the 2-point conversion play here. And you see what he does there. He's just jumping up for pass protection here. So that's how we ran it. That's how we ran it for the 2-point conversion. And we'll come back and look and see that same formation. Just Turner is obviously closer to us, giving us that inside zone run look. And what you'll also look at, the difference is Malik Young, our right tackle, and the technique he's in. So one of the questions that was asked is why is Young in a 3-point stance here? And it's really hard to see. And I've looked at this replay as many times as I can. If you look across the line, Young isn't the only one in a 3-point stance. Everyone across the line is a 3-point stance. And if you go back, and I tell you, I hadn't picked up on it until it was mentioned online today. But if you go back and look previously in the game, you're going to see on a lot of similar downs, 3rd and long, you'll see the offensive line all in 3-point stances. Not for every play, but for a lot of them, you'll see them on given pass downs in a 3-point stance. I'm not sure why this is, why this is by design from the offensive coordinator, but it's not just Young doing this. It looks like the entire line's at 3-point stance here. And another thing to think about here is so we know we're running play action here. Okay, we know we're going to run play action. When we do that, we're giving the keys away to the defense. So defense is on the field, and they're looking for alerts or keys pre-snap to tell them, okay, hey, look, I see the offense doing this, so I've got an idea they might be running this. So one of the first things they're going to see is when they see the halfback that close to the quarterback, a lot of times you'll think draw, or you're going to think inside zone run. Another thing is when you look at the tackles, the positioning of the tackles, depending on where they're lined up at, that might tip something away. Now, I'm not sure because I haven't watched a whole lot of film on Young to see, how he usually lines up. But if you look at where he is, look at his head, he's right in line with the guard. And a lot of times, like if you look at Zandy over here, you'll see his helmet and his shoulder pads. He's pretty much on the butt of the center. Just to give them more space, especially for a pass down, it gives them just a little bit more room to kick step back in order to get in that pass set. So maybe this is by design. Maybe when they draw this play up, they tell Young to get up snug to that line to really sell that play action. Because that's something that defense is going to read. Now, whether that makes sense or not, if you think we shouldn't be running that in 4th and 6, I don't know. I'm not sure, what the coaches' schemes and how they instruct the players, but just, spitballing here, I would think that maybe that's just something they're doing to try and sell the play. And another thing we're going to look at, which leads to the eventual breakdown of the play in the sack, is the footwork of Young. Once the ball is snapped, he just got really bad footwork coming out of this. He almost takes a false step, and it makes it very hard for him to kick step back into the pocket to keep the defensive end off. And what also, it's almost like a snowball rolling downhill, picking up momentum. Is what doesn't help is if you look at the defensive end down here, he's going to be in what we call a wide 9 position. And what that means is typically, so you've got a tackle here, and in this gap right next to the tackle, this would be the tight end. Now, if you're on the outside shore of the tight end, you'd be in a 9 technique. Now there's no tight end there, so why is it a wide 9? Well, the reason you put your defensive ends in a wide 9 when you're anticipating passes is because it gives you a direct line to get to the quarterback and affect him. It also, what that's going to do is that's going to force the tackle to kick step out here wide, and you want to get him to where his shoulder pads are not square with the line of with the line of scrimmage. So that's going to give the defensive end really the ability to get straight to him and either speed rush past him, or if the tackle gets too wide, he can always go up and under to get to the quarterback. So really, it was a perfect storm of just stuff adding up that really killed this play for Young here. One, if he snugged to the line for that play action, it's already putting him at a disadvantage to get back into his kick step to prevent pressure and get to the quarterback. But then that defensive end being in a wide 9 really hurts. So we'll watch the play here real quick, and you'll get to see what I'm talking about, and hopefully that makes sense to you. So really, he's got no chance here. So he's already up here, and you can see this almost false step you see here with him, where he's almost turning his body. Once he turns, he's not gaining or losing any ground here. He's staying neutral. And when you're staying in that position, the defensive end's coming up field, it's hard to win. It's hard to win that, and he just can't recover from it. So, after all that, like I said, when we look at this, we don't know the full intent of what the coach's decision was on this play. We don't know the full intent of what the players are supposed to be doing. All we can do is watch the game and watch the recordings and just kind of guess at a lot of stuff. So maybe some of this makes sense that I'm talking about. Maybe I'm completely wrong on some stuff. But anyway, just doing this for fun. I hope you guys enjoy it. Any questions, comments, please post them and let me know.